Yeah, rivals, it's a dangerous guy because it's a boxing. One punch, go home. This is dangerous, man. I know, but.
So therefore, the only way, if anyone is to beat him, is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk.
Number 1 and number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taken, like, all right, who's the next in line? Right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing.
Oleksandr Usyk confidently mocked Floyd Mayweather during a live interview by saying he has faced the best opponents in his whole life and still come out on top. He added that even now at this stage of his career, he believes he has better legs than he. Usyk's comment wasn't just playful. It was a bold reminder of his elite conditioning and the level of competition he's overcome to reach the top.
Please don't be afraid.
Good evening, hope you're enjoying our Monday night football coverage. Oleksandr Usyk, not a bad striker in his time. Thierry and Jamie are in studio. If you were fighting Thierry Henry, how would you get inside of his head?
Yeah, Terry is a great player, but hey, Terry, my legs be better with you. Terry, don't be afraid. My legs better.
What'd you make of that?
Sometimes you have to stay in your lane, and I will stay in my lane.
As Oleksandr Usyk nears the final stages of his career, only 2 fights remain before he hangs up his gloves. This has triggered a wave of anticipation in the boxing world. Fans, analysts, and fighters are all paying close attention to his next move. With such an illustrious run behind him, his next opponent, whoever it may be, will share the spotlight. The hype surrounding his upcoming fights is massive, with boxing audiences eager to see how a generational icon finishes his journey.
Usyk that he's got 2 more fights in the bag at this point, that you reckon, yeah?
I interviewed him before. I sat down with him and had a chat with him before the Dubois fight. And yeah, he was just like, I've got 2 fights left.
So he's never fought in the Ukraine, he's never fought in his home country, or defended his title, I should say. So that's got to be on his wish list.
I would imagine so, but with what's going on in this country, which is just a disgrace, it's still going on. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Anytime soon, no. But hopefully we'll get some peace there, and then maybe he will get
I'd love to, yeah. I'd love to see peace in his country and for him and his family, and that would be an amazing event.
With multiple fight options circling Oleksandr Usyk as he nears the end of his legendary career, the WBO has now officially mandated him to defend his undisputed heavyweight title against interim champion Joseph Parker. This matchup has quickly gained momentum, with both teams given 30 days to reach an agreement before a purse bid is triggered. Parker's recent victories over Deontay Wilder and Martin Buckley have strengthened his case, drawing support from fans, analysts, and even legends like Lennox Lewis. Promoter Frank Warren has backed the bout, seeing it as the perfect test for Usyk before he walks away from the sport.
My gut feeling is that Joseph Parker fights for the WBO belt, but he doesn't fight Oleksandr Usyk. He fights the next man up. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I don't know the rankings. So I guess if you're Joseph Parker, the question is, I mean, what is it you want? Ultimately, if you want a world title shot and you think you've been blackballed from getting a world title shot or pushed to the back, then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number 1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened.
Jay Opataya, an emerging figure in the boxing scene, has openly voiced his admiration for Usyk and his interest in sharing the ring with him. He sees Usyk as not just a dominant champion, but as a defining figure of this generation. Opataya's desire to face such a legend speaks volumes about how Usyk has inspired the newer wave of talent. A matchup like this would be both symbolic and competitive, linking 2 different stages of boxing greatness.
I know a goal of yours is to go to heavyweight. You're giving me a little smirk. Like, is that like a dream scenario for you to fight one of those 2 guys?
I would love to fight Usyk, you know, respectfully. You know, I've always been so close to him. You know what I mean? Like I was, but I was 16 years old. I qualified for the Olympics. I competed at 17, little kid, and he won that Olympic Games. Like I've always been there. You know what I mean? I've always just been. It wasn't my time yet, you know, but I feel like my time's coming.
Oleksandr Usyk has crafted a remarkable legacy by fearlessly stepping into the ring with the most formidable opponents in the heavyweight division. Unlike many greats who spent the majority of their careers in lighter weight classes, Usyk moved up to heavyweight and didn't pick safe fights. He sought out the toughest challenges available. Analysts emphasize that this transition wasn't just bold, it was historic. His 2 wins over Tyson Fury, a man once viewed as nearly unbeatable, stand as a powerful testament to Usyk's dominance at the top level.
Is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk, who is fighting big men, sometimes giving up 40-pound weight advantages. And unfortunately, that does mean that if Oleksandr Usyk goes on for 4, 5, 6 more fights, of course, he is going to be defeated, in my opinion. But I would love that to not be the case. I would love it to not be the case. What I would love to be the case right now, as a boxing fan, is Oleksandr Usyk to walk off into the sunset. I think he's proven everything that he could possibly prove. And there's been debates, and especially I remember after the first few Joshua fights, there were debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield.
What separates Usyk from his peers is not just his unbeaten record, but the manner in which he achieved it. He didn't avoid risk, he embraced it. Every opponent was dangerous, every arena intense. Yet Usyk delivered with brilliance, poise, and unmatched ring intelligence. From his footwork to his tactical adaptability, he has consistently outclassed giants, turning doubters into believers. Usyk's name now carries weight far beyond titles or belts. He's not merely a champion. He's an icon of courage and excellence. In a sport where legacy is often tied to resume strength, Usyk stands taller than most. Not just because of who he beat, but because of when and how he did it.
It's over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield. Listen, that argument, a lot of people wanted to rubbish that at first. That argument is a real argument that can be made now. Because when you look at what Oleksandr Usyk's done, remember Evander Holyfield was in a cruiserweight division that, I'm not going to say was in its infancy, but it wasn't, it wasn't the cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in. The cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in, I believe, was a more stacked, more competitive cruiserweight division. And the way Usyk left that division, he left it by cleaning it out. The World Boxing Super Series tournament was something that actually got the best fighting the best and got the best names coming into it and entering, and we weren't really seeing that at the time.
Floyd Mayweather has long been regarded as the pound-for-pound king of his generation. Celebrated for his flawless technique, defensive brilliance, and undefeated record. His dominance in multiple weight classes cemented his status as one of boxing's all-time greats. However, in today's era, Oleksandr Usyk has emerged as a worthy counterpart, drawing comparisons that few thought possible. With undisputed titles in multiple divisions and victories over elite heavyweights, Usyk is now being viewed as this generation's modern pound-for-pound force. If an anticipated clash between Usyk and Mayweather ever took place, even as an exhibition, it would be seen as more than a spectacle. It would be a meeting of two completely different styles and legacies.
I think Floyd is one of the worst fighters ever. That's my hot take on Floyd. Now let me stop trolling. Now that I got y'all baited in. I think we always say like, oh, how great Floyd is. Well, when you really sit there and think about it, Floyd was really special. Like, when we talk about generational, it's going to be a very, very, very long time till we see Floyd. Like, Pernell was great. He was a great defensive wizard. Pernell trapped himself a lot. He was able to find himself out of his own traps. Pernell would give up outside lead foot position to a lot of big punchers, and he was still able to be elusive and get away. That's impressive. Floyd would sit on the ropes against guys like Canelo, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Cotto. and either evade every shot or get away. Generation, like Floyd is crazy. He's not my favorite fighter. He's far from my favorite, but I mean, I think he's the best pound for pound fighter of all time. I don't think there's much debate for it. Did Floyd fight everybody he was supposed to? No, we got to be honest. He just didn't. Most people don't. Did Floyd fight everybody at their best? No, that's impossible. Was Floyd the most slippery, defensively sound, technical boxers of all time? Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm not the hugest Floyd fan, but I just sit here watch him dominate my boy Canelo. You guys know Canelo, he's one of my favorite, but God, Floyd, different type of boxer, you know. We hated him when he was here. I kind of miss Floyd now.
Floyd's legacy is built on precision and control, while Usyk is defined by movement, pressure, and mental sharpness. Usyk's journey has been rooted in hard battles and constant elevation, never settling for easy paths. While Mayweather showcased perfection and finesse, Usyk thrives in high-risk warfare. Usyk's dismantling of Daniel Dubois only reinforced what fans already knew. He doesn't just win, he dominates with intellect. While Dubois had strength and power, Usyk's footwork, timing, and strategy rendered him ineffective. It was a performance that showed how brains can outdo brawn. This win didn't just pad Usyk's record. It enhanced his legacy as a fighter who consistently overcomes physical disadvantages with elite technique and mental sharpness.
In different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, you know, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. You know, Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age or whatnot, you know. So you know, you could get where all of a sudden, you know, it's not there on the night. So and you know, you had
and heavyweights takes 1 second. One split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second, you know, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But, you know, Usyk, you know, flawless performance technically, you know, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he sliced that weak side, sliced that weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, you know, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. You waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize like I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown. You saw his spirit leave his body. Not as if he's dying. I mean, his fighting spirit just completely leave his body. Yeah. And we've seen that before. It happened the last time. And a lot of people were asking me during fight week. They're like, "Hey, man, Dubois looks really good. What do you think?" I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Turki Alalshikh has become a central figure in modern boxing, known for making high-profile matchups possible. His involvement has raised speculation that even the biggest fantasy fights could materialize, including the unlikely return of Mayweather to face Usyk. Though the odds may be slim, the influence of such promoters cannot be ignored. If anyone could bring two icons from different worlds together in the ring, it's someone with a lost reach and reputation for staging major events.
Turki Alalshikh might be the only billionaire I truly like. Don't get me wrong, if you're a billionaire, you're probably hiding some pretty shady stuff, not gonna lie. But this dude is a G. If you know, you know. This guy is a huge combat sports fan. Mostly boxing. This guy does everything he can to try and create the best boxing events in the world. Dude uses his money for the power of good by creating the most testosterone, aura-filled boxing matches imaginable. And after, it seems like forever, months, maybe even years of him trying to get Canelo Alvarez to fight Terrence Crawford, he finally penciled it in. He got it done a couple months ago. Here's why I'm making this video. Turki Alalshikh I fucking love this guy. If either one of these two guys win by knockout, he's going to give out a huge bonus to him. It's important to note that this isn't going to be like a $50,000 bonus that they have in the UFC. We're talking Saudi oil money. Expect millions and millions of dollars. This is a quote by him. "We will not have Tom and Jerry fights anymore. We will have in this fight and in our next fights a bonus for a KO." Thank God. The biggest reason why I'm more of an MMA fan, and even a bare knuckle fan, than boxing is because I'm tired of the dancing. 12 rounds of just dancing. It literally puts you to sleep. And the last boxing event I paid for, I don't even remember the dude's freaking name. It was the last guy I think Canelo Alvarez fought. I don't even care to know his name. All the dude did was dance around for 12 rounds just to lose. He didn't do anything. It was one of the worst fights ever. Everybody thought they got scammed because they had to pay money for that. Even Turki Alalshikh was pissed. You can see it because he's done with this crap. He's done. He's finally putting an end to this. He's going to be giving out probably $1 million bonuses for every time somebody gets knocked out. Thank God. All right? Now I'm actually excited for this fight.
One of the most admired aspects of Usyk's career is his character. Despite all the championships and accolades, he remains grounded. This contrasts with the public persona of fighters like Mayweather, who have often thrived on bravado. Analysts and fans alike have praised Usyk's humility, seeing it as a reflection of respect for the sport, his opponents, and the fans. It's a rare quality in elite athletes and one that makes his greatness feel even more authentic. Derek Chesaura's comparison of Usyk to Muhammad Ali highlights the rare talent Usyk possesses. His agility and control in the ring resemble the grace of lighter fighters, yet he executes it within the heavyweight division. His movement isn't just aesthetic, it's tactical and effective. In a division known for brute force, Usyk's blend of intelligence and mobility brings a fresh dynamic that's rarely seen at this level.
Everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? You can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great. He's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where it's due. Yeah. He is that guy.
From the outset of his career, Usyk sought only the toughest roads. Instead of cherry-picking easy wins, he pursued top opponents, often in their own backyards. He traveled, adapted, and succeeded against a wide variety of styles and environments. This willingness to embrace risk and chase greatness, even when the odds were stacked, sets him apart from many champions who take safer routes. His journey is defined not by comfort, but by courage and ambition.
I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
He's missed it! It's over! It's over! Fuck the greatest of all time!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Oleksandr Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Oleksandr Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Oleksandr Usyk immediately turns to Turki Alalshikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his father, I think at the time. It was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Oleksandr Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.